Love of Life TV Friday is back today. I am here and today I want to talk about something that I have become aware of based on my own experiences and my perception, and based on other people coming to me with similar experiences and my observing type nature. I like to observe human behaviours, and obviously I'm passionate about human behaviours, certain cycles, repetitive patterns that we might have, and of course passionate about human potential. So what I've become aware of is I'm going to start with talking about being a parent. So parents will resonate with this because we've all done it. I'm guilty too. When you have your child chuck an absolute tantrum, kick and scream on the floor, whatever it might be, scream, cry, doesn't matter. They want something. They want to play with the phone. They want food. They want something, right? And as parents, we all can become guilty of this. We kind of basically reward that behavior by giving them what they want because we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to deal with the screams, the tantrum, the noise level of it. We just can't be bothered. So the best thing is give them what they want to shut them up, right? But no, that's not correct. Now, I'm guilty of it too, don't get me wrong, but what I found is that is part of why I believe the world could do with some changing, because I feel we've all probably had it done with our parents doing it to us too, and we all do it to adults as well. And adults can have such tantrums and that inner child come out of it. So what I mean is the more we are allowing ourselves to just give to that kid that's having a tantrum, just give them what they want, it is creating them to start realizing, hey, this behavior works, I get what I want. Because everyone wants what they want, right? So they continue to have that pattern of behavior, and it could go into adulthood. Why I'm so passionate about your mindset and emotions as well is because what we need to do as parents, because our children are our future, and we need to start teaching them a better way of being by leading that. And why I say that is because instead of continuing to not be wanting to deal with that negative or that cry and that whinge and that tone, we got to stop feeding that behavior as if, hey, here you go, here you go. We got to start finding that little bit of tough love. And what we need to do is start giving that tough love. Now, I'm not saying that their tantrum's not okay and, belt them or whatever. It's okay for them to have those moments. We all do. We all have our kick and screaming moments, right? Or our anger or our cries, whatever it might be for you. What we need to do is start teaching our children of how to deal with that moment. Why are we feeling that way, and why are we lashing out due to that? And what could be a better option on dealing with that emotion instead of screaming for what they think they want? Actually go deeper with them and say, what's going on? Why are you feeling this way? Maybe you just need to sleep. Maybe you need to go for a run out the back. They don't need that technology, that phone. They don't need more food. They don't need all those things they think they're wanting because they just want what they want. They need that tough love on, you're not going to get it because that attitude and that behavior isn't how you gain what you want in life. Because that's what we need to teach. Because what I found with certain experiences, this is happening everywhere, not just with parents and children. And I realized that's why the cycle is there. It's happening in workplaces. It's happening in relationships. So how often, put your hand up, I can't see you, but put your hand up anyway. How often have you done something for somebody based on you just don't want to deal with their lash out or their emotional, their trigger? You don't want to trigger them. So you end up giving what they want. That's not teaching anybody anything, and that's not teaching them to actually be aware of their own behaviours. We need to teach people that, and if it means triggering the crap out of people, trigger the crap out of people, because people need to bloody learn. We are not children. And what are we teaching our children? That because we didn't get that one thing, because we didn't get that promotion, or because we didn't get this, we now have to chuck a whammy? No. We want to teach them resilience. We want to teach them a assertive behavior. We want to teach them that, hey, if you don't get what you want right now, you got to remember you have everything you need. And that is what we need to teach our children. And, you know, bosses, okay, so I just got a phone call, so it cut me off. And that was a little bit annoying. Let's see if I can keep going on with what I was saying. So the way us as parents, and it has been in generations, and we even do it now, on feeding certain behaviours because we just don't want to deal with the tone and the annoyance of the tantrum. We're actually doing it as adults to adults. So in workplaces, for example, I was in a workplace and there's, you know, say you're in a workplace and there's someone in that workplace who is someone who stresses a lot, who wants their way and knows what they want, not knows what they want, but they just chuck really big stamping foots on ground moments and their tone's really, so pretty much I was in a workplace where everyone in that workplace pretty much said, oh no, we'll do it this way because you know what such and such is like. You know what he's like. You know what she's like. I'm going, wait a minute, we are all weirdly adjusting our own self and our own way of work, and we're adjusting the workplace, we're adjusting our own life, basically, to revolve around this one person who has tantrums, basically, like who gets, if they get pissed off, they scream it out that they're pissed off, which don't, you know, good on them if they do that, but why the hell are we all basically molding ourselves to benefit what that person wants because we, people don't just want to deal with that person. We don't want to do that crap. We don't want to deal with at the end. So why the hell are we doing it? Because basically what we're doing with that person who is an adult, that inner child's coming out, is we're still feeding that behavior. We're still letting them know, hey, it's okay to behave in such manners because we are going to do everything it takes to make sure you stay content and happy. How stupid is that, right? People in relationships do it. I see it all the time. Oh, I'll check with my partner. Oh, I won't do that because I don't think my partner would like it. You're going out for coffee. You're going for a walk. I don't know. It's something as little as that and you're scared about what your partner's going to think because you're out about. My thoughts, you're in the wrong relationship if you have to check with your partner if something's okay. But two, why the hell are you walking on eggshells? Yeah, I know, I get it, you love and you care about a person, but why are you walking around on eggshells and allowing yourself to suffer from not getting to do the things you want to do based on someone else's idea of what you should be and shouldn't be doing? No wonder you're suffering. Come on, no wonder we are suffering inside because we're not literally letting ourselves go and be out there to do what we want. And I'm telling you now, if you start being that way, the people who are meant to be in your life will love you for it because it's you being you and doing you. The people who aren't really supposed to be there and your relationship or your friendship has expired will disappear because you're not being molded into the character they expect you to be. Now, see, it feels hard and it's like, well, but, you know, it might be hard at the beginning. But in the long run, you're chasing after your happiness, right? And your happiness leads to everything. Your happiness is what you want. But yet, you allow that stuff and you choose suffering. Basically, we are choosing suffering doing it that way. So, in a whole, I encourage all parents to start with your children. Make that little change. Because I'm Jess Quinlan and I'm here to change the world. Now, I'm not beating you up because you might do that, you might have moments where you just can't be bothered dealing with your child, whatever. I get it, I've been there. But start being strong enough to go, no, this behaviour I don't want happening anymore. So I'm not going to give this child what they want. And they can tear the house down for 3 hours if they have to. That's okay. Their moment will pass. But what I'm going to do is every time I see them do something really great or really like I just adore because they have those traits too, obviously, I'm going to give them that little bit extra encouragement. Or I'm going to then say, hey, you've been really awesome today. I'm so grateful. I've decided you can play the laptop for an hour. Something as little as that. They're going to light up because they're like, oh my God, Mum never lets me use the laptop, right? And so they're going to be like, oh my God. And then they're going to start to see the pattern that the more I do this awesome stuff, the more I start getting these really cool groovy things, or the more my mum is super duper happy. So you'll find they're going to choose more of that than their tantrums to get their way. It's going to be a process, but you're going to get there. And allow your children to know also that it is okay to have those moments anyway, because we all do. As adults, we do it too. Just be with them and say, okay, you're feeling this way right now, that's okay. And if you can get them talking, it might actually be something that you're not even aware of, because it's on a deeper level and they don't know how to let it out. So on a surface level, they think, oh, I just want the phone, but really, they just want the phone for the distraction. But what's really going on is someone said something mean to them at school. They don't know how to tell you that because they don't want to feel the way they're feeling. They just think it's the phone's fault. Who knows? That's just examples. But right now, I encourage the world as a society, as a community, not just with parents and children, but in a whole, start noticing. Are you doing something or giving someone something they want based only upon because you don't want to deal with what the outcome could be or what they're going to act like? Or are you genuinely just giving because you think that person's awesome, you want to give it to them? That's great. If it is the other way around, start stopping yourself from doing it now, because those people are the people who need to learn the most. They need to learn their behaviour is not right, or they need to learn that behaviour isn't going to get their way anymore. So they've got to start adjusting the way of being, and that gives them the opportunity to find their own inner personal growth. But the more we feed such behaviours, the more people aren't going to learn. So if you're like me and you're looking at people going, how are they not learning? How are they not getting anywhere? How are they doing the same patterns and cycles all the time? I'll tell you why. It's because we're feeding them that. Because we're giving them what they want based on that behaviour. We've got to start changing it now as a society, as a community, because that is how the world could change. That's all from me. Love you all. See you next week. Have a good weekend. Bye.